Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. The New York Knicks come out victorious up against the Utah Jazz at Madison Square Garden. The final score being 126 to 120, and you should definitely feel good about this W. I understand the Utah Jazz aren't this finals contender, but they're coached very hard by Hardy. Lauri Markkanen is playing at an all-star level. You have a rookie of Walker Kessler, who's one of the best rim protectors in the league. He's crashing the glass like a beast. Jordan Clarkson can still score the heck out of the basket. Colin Sexton, who's a dog. He's not afraid to attack the basket as well. They have some nice pieces. Talon Horton-Tucker is starting to showcase his skills offensively at times as well that he wasn't really fully able to show at an Iowa State or even with the LA Clippers. So you're starting to see his overall versatility of his skill set. I love the way the New York Knicks closed out this game offensively. How more than a couple players stepped up. Just the stops defensively as well. We didn't really make this a back and forth game for the final 3 minutes of this basketball game. The overcoming of adversity of R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson scoring 38 points. I believe Julius Randle had over 30. So the so-called big three, whatever you want to call it, they stepped up all at the same time, which was freaking awesome. Brand new acquisition of Josh Hart when it came to the NBA trade deadline, trading a first-round draft pick, trading Cam Reddish. Josh Hart for his first game in a New York Knicks uniform was freaking awesome. One of the main reasons we won this game. And I just thought it was going to be a total disaster on Knicks Twitter if we don't win this game. And on top of it, if RJ Barrett goes on to struggle, because it's definitely not the way you want to start the game. You know, airballing a wide open three at the top of the key, forcing a shot at the basket that doesn't even hit a rim. Getting cooked defensively at times. He had some good moments, thought he had some bad moments, but he definitely locked in when it mattered most in the second half of this game. I believe he had 8 points when it came to the third quarter. He definitely set the tone for us in that third quarter after a disaster of a start, the offense being very stagnant. And Walker Kessler and Lauri Markkanen, we definitely did struggle with that size in the interior. I thought RJ took some weird angles at times and did force things. I didn't think he was that patient. He was a lot more patient in the second half. But obviously, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson set the tone, scoring the heck out of the basketball in the first half. I thought they did a brilliant job. Brunson continues to do an amazing job manipulating the defense, getting to that mid-range, getting to that teardrop floater, drawing fouls. And it's crazy that he's knocking down threes now. So he's able to score in a bunch of different ways. He made a big-time key pass in that third quarter to continue to give us momentum in a big spot after we had that huge drought of a 5-minute drought that we're able to overcome because of RJ Barrett, how he hit a huge three, was able to drive to the basket and finish. He ended up drawing fouls more in that fourth quarter as well, which was awesome. And yes, RJ Barrett hit that awesome three, drove to the basket, but one of my favorite plays is when he dove on the floor and he was able to come up with the basketball and we called a timeout. And I'm like, Josh Hart, his hustle could be really rubbing off on these players, or maybe it's just RJ being competitive in general, but that's when I knew we really brought it, and I love that play by RJ Barrett. There was definitely that scary moment in that fourth quarter when we entered that fourth quarter up by a few points, but then he ends up getting a technical because he was upset that a foul wasn't called. So that was a huge tech in the moment of that game. So the Knicks definitely did overcome some adversity when it came to emotions as well. But after RJ Barrett did hit that three and drove to the basket, because the Jazz were able to get the lead when we weren't able to score in 5 minutes, when the offense was stagnant, because you had Brunson and Randle that were both cooking, but it was just like, I thought they didn't really have a clue what they were doing. Should we continue to move the ball? Should we take turns scoring the ball? So I just thought it was a disaster offensively, but you also have to give credit to the Jazz and their size in the inside. Lauri Markkanen had this huge dunk, which gave them the lead for the first time since like 4-2. But credit to RJ for scoring the ball. Then after that, great sequence when Jalen Brunson was able to find Randle cutting when he was on the baseline for a huge and one. Josh Hart, just a freaking beast defensively. Made passes out there, had huge steals, had a huge three obviously in the fourth quarter. We're going to be getting into all that. But in the first quarter, Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle definitely set the tone offensively. But you have to give credit to guys like Colin Sexton getting into the teeth of the defense, scoring. Josh Hart, when he came to the game, he definitely did make Colin Sexton's life hell at times when it came to maybe that's a shot he would execute at the basket. But Josh Hart is as physical, and he's just going to really disrupt that shot with his fundamentals and just how much he really competes defensively, because he just fights very hard and he's a mentally tough player. Obviously has that chemistry with Jalen Brunson since the Villanova days, but Talon Horton-Tucker scoring at a very high level. He's able to get to the basket, score from mid-range. Jordan Clarkson got some buckets as well. So you have to give credit to the Utah Jazz team for fighting. Rudy Gay at the beginning had a couple buckets. Like, they have bucket getters. They really do. So you have to give credit to the Utah Jazz for fighting throughout this game. And I really like what Hardy's doing at the head coaching position for the Utah Jazz. They're definitely moving in the right direction. But what was the most brilliant was obviously the bench. Josh Hart comes off the bench in his Knicks debut, no hesitation, goes right to the basket, draws the foul. He ends up splitting the pair, but then a couple possessions down, the New York Knicks find Josh Hart running in transition, running like a beast, playing very hard, ends up finishing at the basket. He comes up with steals when it looks like that may be an easy entry pass, or they're going to dump it inside of the post or try to find it in the post, the low post there. He just reads it very well, and he's just able to come up with a huge steal. He did a great job clogging the lanes, and his defense led to easier buckets for us in transition. And maybe his defense leading to offense, him playing with a lot of energy, unlocks Obi a little bit, because Obi likes to run. He likes to utilize that athleticism. But I definitely did love the aggression of Josh Hart. He drew a couple fouls, came up with big steals, he had 4 assists, he rebounded hard, and that's what we're expecting from Josh Hart, a gritty guy. But he played his ass off. He played really hard, and it was one of the main reasons we won this game. Then you have Quickly, who blocks a shot on the perimeter when he comes in the game. He's competing hard defensively. He's playing at a whole other level this season. Defensively, he's stronger. He's more experienced. Another year under his belt. He's more efficient. He's getting to that floater, and his game's just way more refined compared to his rookie year. He has that floater. He could drive strong to the basket. He has the mid-range. He has the three-point. Quickly was a beast coming off the bench. I even thought Hartenstein was pretty damn good on the offensive glass. He set the tone, in my opinion, when the Jazz and Knicks were trading buckets in that fourth quarter, when Lauri Markkanen, who was struggling for 3 quarters of basketball, really got it going in the fourth quarter when he started hitting ridiculous shots. And he hit he hit back-to-back threes, specifically 1 3, that ended up tying the game. And I remember Jordan Clarkson hit a shot that tied the game, and I'm like, the New York Knicks need to get a stop at some point. We're getting buckets, but we can't let this be a back-and-forth game. At some point, the New York Knicks need to set the tone by getting a stop. And we did set the tone by getting a big-time stop when we did eventually get the lead, but we stopped a big-time shot by Lauri Markkanen. It was a 12-footer. And then on the other end, Isaiah Hartenstein he's not able to execute on this tip-in, but Josh Hart comes up with a huge offensive rebound. He's able to kick out to RJ Barrett for a big-time 3. And RJ Barrett stepped up when it mattered, and that's what you want from RJ. Obviously, you want more consistency through 4 quarters, and hopefully this really gives him confidence to not even just give him a good stretch of basketball. You want to see him close out the season very strong. But RJ Barrett knocking down 3. Everyone hits a big-time 3. That really built on this run, and they end up going on this big run. We end up going on a 9-0 run, I believe it was in the fourth quarter. Brunson hits a 3. You have Josh Hart that hits a 3. Randall that hits a 3. Josh Hart, when he hit the clutch 3, it just set the Garden on fire, I bet. But it was awesome seeing Randall drive down the lane, have that huge poster dunk as well in the fourth quarter. It was awesome seeing players execute down the stretch, seeing us get a stop on Lauri Markkanen's jumper. But credit to Talon Horton-Tucker for getting to the basket. Credit to the Utah Jazz. They fought very hard. They did. Jordan Clarkson's professional score of the ball. You have Lauri Markkanen playing at an all-time, other level that you didn't really get to see him showcase with Cleveland with the Chicago Bulls. I'm happy for him. He's definitely going to be up there when it comes to most improved player. He was struggling for 3 quarters of basketball, but stepped up when it mattered. That's special. That's really special in a player to have that type of scoring performance in the fourth quarter. But first to overcome that adversity, but also have good moments. We're up a few at half. We should have been up even more at half. Like I mentioned, the bench, scoring production. Quinn Grimes didn't do a lot. I thought he was kind of up and down defensively at one point. But the bench producing, Randall producing, Brunson, RJ. And if it wasn't for the rookie out of Kansas, Ochai Agbaji, hitting that 3, we could have been up more entering that. But yeah, what a disaster of the third quarter that was at the beginning when we couldn't score for 5 minutes and the offense was very stagnant. We're allowing dribble penetration, but RJ stepped up. I thought we were pretty good for 2 quarters of basketball. We were in control, but credit to the Jazz when it looked like we could have made this a 15-point lead. The Jazz just continued to build on top of it. And maybe it could have been a 15-point lead if RJ did more or Grimes did more offensively, but all that matters is this team stepped up when it mattered. Josh Hart was clogging the passing lanes. He came up with rebounds, that huge offensive rebound, which led to that RJ 3 that he was able to kick it out to him. Because once we started hitting threes, I thought the defense started to click. We started to really build that momentum and build that confidence and really overtook the Garden. Just very happy about this performance. Specifically, Randall hitting shots down the stretch. That's just the most beautiful thing because I've always mentioned he's an all-star for 3 quarters of basketball, but seeing him be an all-star for 4 quarters is awesome. It really is. You could say, maybe to nitpick some things, maybe move the ball better, have a better feel in certain moments so we don't have this very stagnant patch offensively in the third quarter. But what an awesome game. This was just an awesome game to watch. I'm pleased with the effort. Brunson, 38 points. At least at this point of the season, Jalen Brunson went from possibly an overpay to it looks like he's underpaid. The performance that he's playing at, he's able to get to the free throw line, get to that mid-range whenever he wants, that floater. He's been hitting big-time shots for us. I'm only 18 years old, so I am a younger Knicks fan, but this is a point guard that I've been waiting for. He has made some timely passes. Yes, he's ball dominant at times, but he's not afraid at the moment. He is a dog. I love that we added Josh Hart with him, but credit to him down the stretch. Credit to him in the first half. This was a good, complete game by Jalen Brunson, a good, complete game overall. But we just got to give Jalen Brunson his flowers. You go on the box score here. Julius Randle, 31 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 12 of 26 from the field. He was 3 of 11 from 3, but obviously hit a huge 3. He's able to get to the free throw line for a few times. Sims did struggle with Kessler on the boards, I'm not going to lie. He had that very aggressive sequence, though, that he continued to go up, though, which I respected. But he had 10 rebounds. He still fought pretty hard. 2 points, 10 rebounds. It's just that Kessler had like 14 rebounds. It was kind of overshadowed. He did have 4 fouls. Brunson, 38 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 11 of 22 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. How awesome was that 3? When Josh Hart found Brunson in transition, you just saw the chemistry there from Villanova. You have RJ, 20 points, 6 of 15 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Quinn Grimes, 1 point, 22 minutes, 0 of 3 from the field. He didn't get a lot of looks, but he needs to start knocking down his open threes. It's been kind of frustrating. Obi, 2 points in 9 minutes, but I thought he ran the floor hard when he was out there. Hartenstein, 6 points, 14 rebounds. He had 6 offensive rebounds. Like, he was a beast on the boards. He had a huge putback dunk. His rebounds are probably going to be overshadowed in this game, but he really hustled, especially in that fourth quarter. But 6 points, 14 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block for Hartenstein. Thought he played his ass off. Josh Hart, 11 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 4 steals, 3 of 6 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3. Emmanuel Quickly, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 of 6 from 3, 6 of 9 from the field. But Hartenstein's been playing some good ball for the last few weeks, and I appreciate his hustle. I feel like he's starting to play his game more free-flowing out there on the floor. I know he's kind of heavy-footed at times defensively, but he's been snagging big-time rebounds. He's been playing with tons of energy. Josh Hart, Quickly, and Isaiah Hartenstein, they're definitely going to be fan favorites coming off that bench. Let me know down below your thoughts. Peace out, y'all. Knicks win.